Morning. So after a long delay of a week, just about, yeah, right at it, we're going to hopefully finish up planting today and tomorrow. That's the plan. Dad has 130 acres of corn. I have like 160 acres of beans. They're in a lot of different fields, a lot of moving. I won't finish today, but I should finish tomorrow. Same with Dad. Some of the fields have some work that has to be done to them. BJ spent all day yesterday tilling up the old tile lines, got those in good shape. One of the fields we're going to go to tomorrow, Dad's going to go to, pretty rough as well. So we should be able to get her. First thing on the list though, we're hooking up seed tender because I need beans. So before we get too far into today's video, this is May 25th. This is Dax's 8th birthday. So he is 8 years old today. And there's not one thing that would make him any happier than you guys going to farmfocus.com and getting yourselves a Brian's Farming Videos hat, or t-shirt, or beanie, or sticker. He maybe didn't say that. Maybe he didn't say that. But seriously, if you're looking for some merchandise, check it out. It makes great birthday presents. So I've been told. In fact, we're running a Father's Day special right now at Farm Focus, so go over and get yourself a discount. Great Father's Day gift.
Good morning. You guys sleep good last night? I left you in the cab, perched right there. Sorry about that. It's probably cold and lonely. Anyway, doing a walkthrough on the tractor this morning before we fired it up, because that's something we do every day. We got plenty of that good stuff. We don't have a whole lot of that stuff. That's fuel. We got enough to do what we got to do this morning before we get back to a fuel pump. The concerning issue though, oh good, I closed the hood. The concerning issue is after I did a walk around, checked my oil, started the engine, found an alarm. See that min code? See how it's below min code? So we don't have enough antifreeze in there to hit the sensor. So rather than run it for another hour and a half or so while I finish these fields up, listening to the alarm buzz, Dad's gonna run some coolant down. So, yep. I'm not sure where she all went, but we're a little low. One thing about it is we'll have to wait on somebody to bring me coolant before I get running this morning. It's a beautiful morning in Southern Ohio. The sun's shining, mid-50s, nice little breeze. Worst places to be. Got my coffee. Got my breakfast. It'll do. I'm gonna go out here and check our work after running the accelerator and pulling a 30-foot rolling harrow behind it. We've not had one of these, and this year's kind of an experiment, I guess, but it definitely adds to the, it's different pulling it down the road. A lot longer. Not really a big deal. There are some places that I'm not gonna be able to get into with that, and that'll happen later this afternoon. I'll have to, matter of fact, as soon as I'm done with these two fields, I'll go back to home base and unhook the harrow and go to some of these other places. And what I mean that I can't use it at is I physically cannot get the machine into these fields. The driveways are narrow, the entryways are narrow, on top of a mountain with tight curbs, that kind of thing. So, yeah, we will be unhooking later and just pulling the accelerator. But for right now, I want to see kind of what the harrow left us. It's a really nicely finished surface. It's not as cloddy. There was some surface moisture yesterday when I ran through here. Even with the tile, you can see the tile lines. But in between those lines, there was some moisture. And normally, just running the accelerator with the baskets that are on the rear of the accelerator, there will be some clods, some larger chunks of soggy dirt. And really the rolling harrow has done a really nice job busting a lot of that stuff up. It's a nice smooth surface. Brian's already commented that in the bean planter, he can tell from the cab of the tractor where the rolling harrow has been. versus where just the accelerator without has been. I'll hopefully you guys, the camera stays charged, and this afternoon I'll show you some ground that I'm running without the Harrow, kind of give you a little bit of a comparison. I think our antifreeze is coming. All right, we are full antifreeze. Looks like the machine's okay now. No alarm's going off, everything is happy. Let's get to work.
Picking up beans. So looking at this field here that BJ worked yesterday, I really like that Harrow. Look at how good that field looks. Just a beautiful finish on it, nice and smooth. I was hoping that Harrow would kind of help smooth some fields up. I just didn't expect that I'd like it this much. Like I said before, that is a demo from Underfirth, but that will be staying here. We will be purchasing that almost 100% sure, providing the wheels don't fall off this operation, that will be ours. Although if Dad keeps trying to make the shop bigger, maybe not, but the plan is for that to stay here. So there is still moisture in this ground, but it's definitely plantable. Good shape there. This is some of the best this field's ever looked, or these fields here have ever looked when we planted, so pretty stoked about that. Wish we were a little bit earlier, but this year it rains every few days, and we plant for a day and then it rains. Uber for Brian. Bunch of motorcycles. I believe that's the Freedom Ride. I can't remember if that's what they call it or not, but veterans organization. I'm pretty sure they ride to DC, don't they? They used to stop at our local school, eat lunch, and then continue on their path. This is, like I said, close to Memorial Day weekend. Pretty cool. Lots of Harleys. Lots of Harleys. Whew, this tractor wind is dirty. There's Dad. He's fueling up his planter. We had to do a little bit of work
for your age and risk
at the building site this morning, but we are ready to plant now. So we have an electrician coming in to put some conduit underground. We had to dig the hole, tunnel through the wall for him, laid out the conduit. Yeah, this time next year we'll be backing out of the big shed there. Yesterday, Dad asked the building builders how much it'd be to tack on 45 feet of length to the building for cold storage. So I don't know, that'd be a pretty massive building. It's already 100 by 135. I don't know, what do you guys think? I know the building will never be as cheap as it is now, but at the same time, we gotta pay for it. So one thing that really baffled me in a recent video, I guess it would have been in fertilizer season, I was running the floater. I had a car try to pass me while I was turning left. I am turning you, basically I had to wait on oncoming traffic, so I had stopped and slowed way down, and I was turning left. So as soon as that car passed me, I started turning, almost hit a car. Had my turn signal on. That happens pretty often. Like most tractor wrecks, I feel like, are that situation. The amount of people, like I posted that as a reel on Facebook and Instagram and a YouTube short. And man, I realized that you hit a different audience when you do that, because man, the amount of people that think we should trailer this equipment anytime we have to move it down the road. I don't think they realize how many people would starve to death because we'd never have enough time to get our crop in. Really baffled by that. Just shows how out of touch some people really are. But moving equipment down roads, I mean, you can't go on freeways, you can't go on limited access roads, but that's it. I mean, that's just part of living in rural America. You're going to see tractors going down the road. You also see tractors going down the road in other countries. Like I don't know. Really baffled me, the amount of people that, one guy informed me that if I'd have hit him in that situation, he'd have sued me for everything I had, and that told me a lot about that individual. But anyways, rant over. Let's get back to work. Yeah, I bet BJ's glad to be just about out of here. These little fields like this just take forever. I definitely think he thought he was going to get further than he did yesterday, but going over those field tiles, I mean, you can't run fast on them because you're trying to smooth it up really nice. I think you ran them twice. These little 8-acre fields, I mean, you're just constantly turning. Not the most efficient running, but unfortunately for him, he doesn't have any big fields left. He's going to a 20-acre field, a 22-acre field, a 17-acre field, a bunch of stuff like that. But he's got less than 100 acres to run over today, and he's done. Like, no more tillage. Just multiple forms of transportation down here. So Dad stages that here because he thinks whenever he goes to plant this field, he will have to go get a couple bags of seed, but he's not sure. We have to cut through this field to get to a bean field, so I'm going to do that before he gets here to plant. Not the most ideal situation. Ideally, we would have corn where I'm going, but the landlord requested that we do beans because I think this is the last year we're going to farm it. It's not a very big field. In fact, I think now it's only going to be like 6 or 7 acres. He wants to seed it for a pasture next year, and well, that's easier to do a bean stubble, which I get, no big deal. If we were going to continue to farm it though, we would have just altered the rotation and had it corn on corn. But this is the tile field. Between Dad running that scraper and BJ running the accelerator, I think this is the best our tile lines have ever looked. The main is still a little bit rough, but overall, much better. We spent a lot of time on this though, but hopefully it pays off. I think we're settled at all we're gonna settle. What I mean by that is if we had done this the day after we tiled it, we'd have a trench every tile line because that dirt will settle once it gets wet a few times. But I think we've already settled. We've passed that point. Yeah, this is about as smooth as it's going to get, I believe. Now this used to be a 37-acre field, I believe a 25-acre field and a 20-acre field, or I might be wrong. Either way, it adds up to about 80 acres now. So we've made it all one field, but there's still a little bit of a rough spot here where these two fields used to meet, but overall pretty good shape. Much happier this is one field. 80 acres ain't the biggest field we've got, but it's a lot more efficient to run. Like I say, when you get in big fields and you can just make acres fly, it makes for quick, efficient running. When you have to move around and do end rows on end rows on end rows, it's slower. So the bigger your field, the more efficient, usually the more productive. Less compaction because you're not turning as much, just all around better if you can do it. So that all used to be part of the field, but that's the fellow that owns this. Built him a shop and I think he's gonna live in that building for a little while, but he's the fellow that's building my house. Now he did tell me from the get-go that at some point in the middle of my house, he was going to have to come over and build this building. They're having a wedding at that barn in like a week, so had to get the building built. But it does look pretty good. Got a lot of cool options on it. Looks like BJ's dropping the accelerator. Some of the places that he's going today, he will not be able to take that. So I had to stop and fill up with seeds. While we're filling up, we can prepare lunch. Dump this thing in this little heater. And when we get back, we should have a hot meal. Here's Dad over there, getting started on that 80, but I'm going to actually have to take off today. Like I said, today's Dax's birthday. We're going to do some birthday festivities. We have a baseball game to go to first, so we'll do that, and we will be back here tomorrow to finish this up.
I would just like to say, you ran the car out of gas. Have a good day.
Car's out of gas?
Yes, Brian.
Sounds like it's still running. Bye, have a good time. So good morning, we're back. Hopefully we can finish this farm and move on to the next one. Dad's parked here. He's got 26 acres of corn to plant. So he's gonna go knock that out this morning. Only problem is we're down to like the last kernels of corn. We might need like 2 more bags of corn. 2 bags, that's, you know what? We'll take that. That means we were pretty close on our seed count. Dad's rolling out.
Morning, gang. It's the Friday before Memorial Day, and hopefully the last day of tillage 23. The last day of corn plant 23. Probably maybe like the next to last day of bean planting 23. Yeah, we're still running along down to the last few acres of tillage. It's kind of damp here. See, I left my tail behind me yesterday. I'll put you guys up here. We'll turn around. I'll let you guys tell. There are clods out there. Let's get ready to turn again. We'll stop. We'll stop and take a look at the difference between just the accelerator and the accelerator with the rolling harrow that we unhooked. You guys saw the dirt yesterday, right? We talked about that. We walked around for a minute. Let's get out and take a look here. Let's shut the hydraulics down. All right. Yeah, it's still a little tacky over here. A little bit of moisture in the ground. This is just corn stalks, not a whole lot of overgrowth. Looks like Dad maybe has sprayed here. Has got the burn down applied. And yeah, this is, see those? Those are clods. The rolling harrow does a nice job busting those up, but this ground has got enough moisture in it still, which kind of surprises me. It's enough moisture in it, but I think that rolling harrow might just pack this in. I don't know. It's right on the borderline, so we'll get it turned over, and Brian should be able to plant beans into this afternoon, hopefully. I don't know, I might advise him to give it another day. It's tackier than I thought it would be up here. We might make that phone call right now. I don't know, it's 10 o'clock, so it might be late before he gets over here. it may be good this evening. Sun's shining and the air's moving. At any rate, let's get back to work.
So this little field, this is a 2-acre patch, but BJ never tilled it. We're no-tilling into this. This is going to be bean after bean also, so just some grass in it, not really any corn stalk residue. This is bean after bean because we are switching the rotation on a couple of these fields after we combined that one bigger field behind me. Dad planted the corn yesterday. We had to switch some stuff up. I just noticed that we have something attached to one of the units back here. Looks like the netting from tile couplings. Maybe it's barbed wire. I don't know. Nope, that's definitely barbed wire. Let's see if we can get this without getting stitches. Just go deposit this over here. Just noticed, but I'm pretty sure someone has stole all the doors off this old building. Handy. Or walking back to the planter, rocking the grower not a shower shirt, available at farmfocus.com. So like I said in yesterday's part of the video, check that out. Got several offerings. Go over and check it out, link in the description.
We're back out this afternoon in some ground that hasn't been tilled since plant 2022. And we have unhooked our rolling harrow, so it's just the accelerator. And you can kind of see how it's clogged up. I'm going to run this over twice just to kind of break that stuff up. Dad's going to plant corn into this. So we will get it broken up as much as possible and try to get him something to work with. Pretty thick mat of growth. Turn it under. No burn down has been put on this field, so what's going to happen is Dad is going to come in and plant, and then probably in the next day or two come in and spray, before the crop emerges and get it taken care of.
Right up here is where I hit that deer last year with the combine. Just laying down, and I think the combine scared it. Stuck its head right into the knife rolls of the corn head and killed it instantly. Now that did happen. There is a video titled "I Hit a Deer with a Combine."
Had a little bit of excitement here.
I definitely just combined a deer. Got stuck in the corn head. I'm not going to show you guys. It's pretty gruesome. There's a couple things I can guarantee you. One, the combine's all right. Two, it didn't get in the grain tank. Three, that deer, it died really quick. But it's definitely dead. I think some people were really upset that I didn't show all the gore because it was a bloody mess. I mean, the deer got hit with a combine. It died very quickly, broke its neck instantly, and it actually plugged the head. It was stuck in the knife rolls, and we had to pull it out with a chain. When we did that, its head popped off. Like I said, it's kind of gruesome, but yeah, that did happen. You can't show stuff like that on YouTube because YouTube doesn't like stuff like that. But yeah, it did happen. There is a picture at the very end of that video. Very quick. Give you a nice countdown in case you don't want to see it, but yeah, check it out. We are finally done at this farm. These little patches take forever. We've planted like 58 acres or something like that. We've been here for 4.5, 5 hours. It takes forever. I don't know what it means when it flashes, but hopefully it means we got about 10 minutes worth of fuel because the fuel's right there. Be somewhat upset if we run out in the driveway, but I guess less upset than if we would have ran out in the highway. Dad's done planting corn.
Too late to plant corn. Finally. Should have been done a long time ago, but wasn't.
Well, we've only planted about 6 total days.
Yeah, I could have done it in half of that, but this happens, that happens. Be glad I'm done, and we'll have to use that player next year. It's for sale.
We are fueled up, we are filled up, and we're ready to rumble. Here's a fun fact for you. That hill's called Rattlesnake Knob. I'm guessing in pioneer times, someone found a rattlesnake up on that knob. Now, I've lived in this area my whole life, spent a decent amount of time outside, and I've never personally seen a timber rattlesnake in the wild in Ross County. Now, other places maybe, but they are here. They're just pretty rare. What is not rare are groundhogs. A lot more copperheads in the area though. Decent amount of them things. A lot of black snakes though. Well folks, that is it for today because everything else is still a little damp. So I've said it before, but with the forecast the way it is, I have no desire to mud in any crop because I think we'll be replanting it. There's no moisture for forecasted for a while, no rain. And if we plant it while it's wet, it will crust over. So I'm going to, I'm probably gonna wait till Monday. This is Memorial Day. I'll probably wait till Tuesday, actually. Memorial Day weekend, probably wait till after the holidays and, you know, come back at it then. Anybody else ever have to drive down the roads looking for your fuel cap on your tractor after fueling up? Me neither.